Why are many people starting to feel like they are in a hell room? Many people are starting to experience hell on earth. Many people are starting to think that something is wrong. No, many people are starting to ask questions. Many people are starting to realize that they don't love their jobs. Many people are starting to realize that they're not happy in their marriages. Many people are starting to leave their churches. Many people are starting to hate the way things are in the world. How did we even allow things to be this way? People are starting to wake up. It seems like humanity was on autopilot until now. Now people are like waking up. People are asking questions. People seem to be becoming more and more conscious. The more you become conscious, the more you see things as they really are, the more this world starts to feel like a hell realm. Because it always been a hell realm. The problem was that people weren't conscious enough to realize that this is a hell realm. People are starting to ask the right questions now because they are becoming conscious. And they're starting to realize that, oh, something is really wrong. People are asking themselves, well, why should I be having children? I mean, look at what's going on in the world. Look at how my life has been. I truly have suffered, and I want to have children. Why? Why should I get married? It seems like people who are married are not really happy. It seems like they have to tell themselves lies in order to feel happy. Why do I gotta work a job that I do not love? Who came up with the idea that people must wake up in the morning and go to work a job that they do not love? Who came up with that idea? And who said that that was cool? Because this ain't cool. I do not love my job. I'm not, I don't enjoy being at work. We could have found another way to be productive without really going to work in offices, sitting down in one place. People are waking up. They're starting to feel like something is wrong here. They're starting to ask the right questions. Why am I suffering? Who decided that I must suffer? And why is it so hard for me to live life without suffering a lot? It seems like I don't really catch a break. I just find myself suffering. If I'm not suffering because I do not have money, I'm suffering because I'm sick. If I'm not suffering because I'm sick, I'm suffering because the people that I love are leaving me. If I'm not suffering because the people that I love are leaving me, I'm suffering because my child has problems. My child is not performing well at school. If I'm not suffering because my child has problems, I'm suffering because my mother is not okay. Like I never catch a break. I'm always going through something. Why? What is this place? Why do we always gotta be going through something? Why can't we catch a break? Why is life this way? I mean, I'm not happy. I might pretend as if I'm happy, but I'm not. And it doesn't seem like other people are happy. It seems like everyone is just trying to do the best that they can to cope. Right? Everyone is just trying to do the best that they can. But it doesn't mean that they're happy. What is really going? People are asking the right questions now. The more conscious you become, the more you realize that we are in a hell realm. Like the more you zoom out, the more you see things as they really are, the more you realize we are in a hell realm. When you zoom in and just look at one thing, you might not even realize that we're in a hell realm. You might not even realize that everything is connected. Some people, who are not very, very conscious, people who are just, looking at what is going on in their lives, they're not asking questions. These are the people who don't zoom out, who don't step outside the box. Life is like being put in an island where you are being chased by these creatures that want to harm you, and you're running away from them. But you gotta eat sometimes, and there's food. So you eat, and because you eat sometimes and you enjoy eating, you think, yeah, there are monsters that are trying to chase me, but I also eat sometimes. So that means that, this is a good place because, I eat sometimes. All I gotta do is find food and I'll be fine. Find shelter, I'll be fine. Hide away from these monsters for a while. And if they catch me, if they find me, I keep on running. Make sure that they don't catch me. That's all I gotta do. So, I'm good. I'm good here. I got food. I can hide. I just have to keep on running away from these monsters. So I'm good. Like, if a person looks at things that way, they will not realize that they are really in a bad situation. If they don't zoom out and be like, okay, what's really going on? Why am I even here? Because there are these creatures that are chasing me. Why am I being chased by these creatures? How can that be a good thing? Because I'm being chased here. It's not like I want to be chased by these creatures, but I'm being chased by these creatures every day. I always have to find a place to hide because these creatures are trying to harm me. What is this place? Who put me here? And am I supposed to just keep on running away from these creatures? Is that a good thing? I'm scared. I'm scared of these creatures. I do not want these creatures to harm me, but what is this all about? How does it all end? You see, it's only when people start to zoom out that they realize that they're in a hell realm. You're in a world where you are constantly trying to run away from things that make you suffer. Always. It's not like you are comfortable, you're just enjoying your life. No, you're always running away from something. And people are always running away from something. People are always running away from something. And they don't know why they're here. They don't know why things are the way that they are. Why are things set up this way? That we always gotta be running away from something so that we don't get harmed. We don't want to feel pain. We do not want to suffer. So we try our best to protect ourselves. The people who manage to find a way to protect themselves, they find themselves not suffering a lot, they start to believe that this place is good because they have found a way to protect themselves. They stop zooming out. They stop asking the right questions. I live in a nice house. My marriage is working. I have food. The job that I have, most people do not have this kind of job that I have. They want this kind of job that I have. They will kill to have this kind of job that I have. So that means that life is good. They don't zoom out. They don't try to see things from a higher perspective. They don't try to imagine themselves in different situations. They don't try to think about what is actually possible. They don't feel like things can change. And things change, right? Things change in this world. You can find yourself on top today and then tomorrow you find yourself at the bottom. Things really do change. And it seems like humans never learn. You see, when things are going well, very well for us, we're like, yeah, this place is good. And when things are not going well, like, oh, things are not good. So it's like, if you were in this island that I was describing, when you are eating, you're like, this place is good. And when you are being chased by these things, you're like, this place is not good. Instead of realizing that now the way that the whole thing has been set up is not good. So that means that I'm not having a positive experience. Yes, sometimes I do find myself, enjoying myself, but that doesn't mean that I'm in a good place. The fact that I have to constantly run away from something, try to find ways to protect myself, that tells me that something is wrong. We are constantly trying to run away from something in this world. It's not like you're just comfortable, you're just chilling and like, yeah, life is good, man. Life is good. If I want to challenge myself, I can challenge myself, but life itself is good. Some people say, well, if there was no suffering in this world, we'll not enjoy ourselves. No, human beings are creative, all right? Human beings are very creative. They know how to create games for themselves that they can play. When I was young, we used to play, we used to create games that we'll play and we would have fun, and we didn't suffer a lot. Like, life wasn't giving us shit. We'll just be creative. Be like, okay, what kind of game can we play today? Okay, let's do this and have fun. And we'll just have fun and even forget that we are having like, we would forget, like, we'll get lost just having fun, But now we have many problems, problems that we've been trying to run away from for a long time, but some of these problems were able to, find us. When you were young, you didn't want to face the problems that you're facing now. You thought that things will be so good when you're older. Like, man, when I'm older, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have that, I'm gonna get married to this kind of a person. Things will be this way, things will be that way. And then you find that not only did things not become the way that you hoped, things are much worse than you could have imagined. When we were young, we had big dreams. We thought things were going to work out. It's not like, some children were like, I'm going to suffer, I'm going to be alone, I'm going to be lonely, I'm going to, be sick. Like, no one thought that would happen to them when they were young. We are constantly trying to run away from something. And sometimes these things that we are trying to run away from, they do catch us. They do find us. Just like if you were in an island where you are constantly being chased by these creatures that want to harm you, some of them will be able to harm you. No matter how creative you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how hard you work, trying to protect yourself from these creatures, doesn't mean that they're not going to catch you. Some of them will catch you. Some of them will be able to unalive you. Sometimes we do get sick and die. Sometimes people die of hunger. They're not eating the kind of food that they should be eating because they are poor. They end up dying. Sometimes people die because they are alone. No one is there for them and they don't know what to do. Sometimes people die while trying to run away from some things that are making them suffer. Like, hey, man, I'm suffering because I'm lonely. What should I do? Okay, maybe I should make money. But how do I make money? It's not easy to make money. Okay, maybe I should try to do something illegal and then... The way that the whole thing has been set up isn't good. That is why I'm telling y'all that this is a hell realm. It is not good to be in a place. You see, try to zoom out a little bit. I realize that what I'm saying is true. It is not good to be in a place where you are constantly running away from something. You don't know why you have this. That thing was put in that place for you to run away from, right? You don't know why that thing is there, but you have to run away from it. Because if it catches you, it makes you suffer. So you must run away from it. You don't know how to escape that place. Right? You are in a place. You don't know why you are in that place. But you have to run away from something. You don't know why it was put there. You don't know how to escape that place. And sometimes what you're running from is able to find you, and you suffer because of that. You can't just change things and be like, you know what? I don't want things to be this way. I don't want to be constantly running away from this thing. No. Let's remove this thing completely. I just want to chill and have fun. No. You don't have that option. This reminds me of this episode of Doctor Who. Someone actually suggested that I watch this episode. I've never like watched the series, but because someone suggested that I watch this episode, I watched it. It's called Heaven Sent. It's a very brilliant episode. Doctor Who finds himself in this palace. Um, he doesn't really know why he's there, and there's this monstrous thing that, you know, wants to catch him. And if when it catches him, as it always does, he suffers. He starts to burn. So he always has to run away from this thing. It would walk very slowly, but it will be able to catch him. You know, and when it catches him, he burns, and then the whole thing starts over again. It's like reincarnation, basically. The whole thing starts all over again, and he doesn't like every time, you know, he dies and come back to life, and he has to figure out what is actually going on. Like he literally forget everything, and start all over again, and ask himself, okay, what is this thing? It's scary, so he must try to run away from it. He probably, you know, he doesn't have, like, he doesn't know that if it catches him, it's gonna burn. But he because it's scary, he has to run away from it, and he has to find answers. What is this place? What do I do to stop this thing? He figured out that when he makes like a confession, like this thing, he's able to stop this thing for a while. And a few things will change in that palace, but he still has to, you know, run away from this thing. And that's life. You know, sometimes the things that we're running away from, we can kind of like stop them for a while, right? For a while. If you're running away from loneliness, you can find ways to distract yourself. Maybe if you make a lot of money, maybe for a while, you're not gonna feel lonely. If you running away from sicknesses, yeah, for a while, maybe you can be healthy if you are given the right kind of medication. If you running away from poverty, sometimes it does happen that you do find money, and yeah, for a while you're good. For a while things are going well. A lot of people feel like that episode is about death, because once that thing, you know, catch him, like he burns and dies. But I'll say it's not just about death, you know. It's about the monsters that are chasing us, because in life there are monsters that we are running away from. We are running away from lots of monsters. So just because sometimes you are able to find yourself having a good experience doesn't mean that we are not in a hell realm. That's because sometimes you are able to stop that monster that you're running away from for a while, doesn't mean that you are not in a hell realm. It can never be a good thing to be stuck in a place that you do not understand, and where you don't know what you actually need to be doing, but you are running away from something. Like, that can never be a good thing. You can't think that you're in a good place if you're in a place like that. You can't think that. We have lots of questions about this realm, but we don't have answers. You are born knowing nothing. You start asking the right questions, and people start giving you the wrong answers. And if you don't even believe these answers, you're a bad person. Now, this seems like a good place to you. Some people believe that they must worship whatever has put us here. They must worship it. They must make it believe that they love it. That's why we have many religions in the world. Like, hey, we're suffering here, so what do we do? Okay, maybe the best thing that we can do is to praise whoever created this. You know, maybe they will treat us better because we're praising them. That's really the mentality, even though, you know, these people don't even realize that, but that's the mentality. You're like, yeah, I'm in this bad place. I'm uncomfortable here. What should I do? Okay, let me try to do things my own way, see what happens. Okay, still that doesn't work. What should I do? Oh, I know. Because I've tried everything and it didn't work, maybe I should start talking to whatever actually put me here. Right? Maybe I should start communicating with whatever put me here. So I'm gonna tell it. Like in the beginning, you'll be like, I'm gonna tell you to treat me well. I'm gonna tell you that I'm uncomfortable here. I'm gonna tell you that I'm in pain. Ah, shit, that doesn't work. Okay, let me start appreciating what I have then. You know, I'm thankful that right now I'm not suffering. I'm thankful that now, you know, I have food. I'm thankful that, you know, right now those monsters that are chasing me are kind of like far away. So I'm thankful because of that. Oh, this seemed to work. Actually, it seemed to work. You know, the more I appreciate what I have, the more things start working out for me. So it means I gotta keep on worshiping this thing. You know, they won't be worshiping this thing because they love it, but because, well, they have to. That's what they believe. They're like, hey, I have to because I'm suffering here. If I don't worship this thing, then I'm gonna suffer more. Do you think that that's the best thing to be doing in a place like this? If you were put in an island that I was describing, will the best thing to do be praising whatever puts you in that place, whatever puts you in that situation? Or the best thing to do would be to ask the right questions so that you will find a way out. Doctor Who, whenever he found himself in that palace, he tried to find a way out. You know, he will be asking himself like some deep philosophical questions. What is this place? Maybe I'm in hell. You know, because I'm being chased by this thing. What is it actually? Where does it come from? And he will constantly try to find a way out. Constantly try to find a way out until he did. I think he kept on. He died maybe more than like a million times actually. Like he died many times until he found a way out. You see, the best thing for him to do wasn't to pray. So he did it. I don't remember him praying. It wasn't to pray, beg whatever put him here to let him out. You know, it didn't put you. Like whatever put you here didn't put you here so that you beg it to let you out. It had a bit. You gotta realize that it didn't put you here so that you beg it to let it. I mean, it might like that. It might like it when you beg it to let you out, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna free you. That doesn't mean that if you beg it to let it out, it's gonna be like, yeah. Actually, yeah. I wanted this person to beg me to let him out, so I'm gonna let him out, and that's it. Nah. A place that wouldn't be hell will be a place where people have the answers, right? They know why they are in that place. They know what they are doing in that place. They know how to escape that. That's important, right? If you find yourself in a place that you don't know how to escape, you gotta be suspicious. Like, what's going on? Why can't I just leave if I want to leave. Some people will be like, oh, but people do leave. They'll talk about death, but who knows? Who knows that you're off the hook after dying. What if you keep on coming back, like Doctor Who? You just keep on coming back. You keep on coming back, coming back as a different person each time. Or maybe you come back as the same person. You just don't remember. Many people. I've even met a person who's never had like a deja vu moment in their life. I've never met a person who has never had like a deja vu moment. Like, yeah, man, I feel like I've been in this place before. I feel like this has happened to me before. Ever been in a new country? I mean, I've never been in another country. That's sad. But ever been in a new country and you feel like you've been there before? Ever been in a new place and you feel like, dude, I've been here before. I've met these people before. What's going on here? So, being dead doesn't, like, you wouldn't be, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to be 100% sure that when we're dead, we're off the hook, I think. And we've had a lot of convincing reincarnation stories, actually. You find that a kid is able to remember their previous lives. And you ask yourself, well, are they just trying to make money making these documentaries, telling these kids what to say, or these kids really remember their past lives? You find that a kid is able to remember what they were in their previous lives, who they were married to, the names of their children, how they died, and they're able to remember everything. That's scary. So being in a place where you don't know how to set yourself free, where you are constantly trying to run away from something, and you are not always able to, so you suffer because of that. You don't know why you were put in that place. You don't know who's gonna save you. You're just there. It's like you just you just have to deal with reality on your own. Like, that can't be a good experience. All right, that's bad. We can't say that is good. We'll be lying to ourselves if we say, oh, that's good, man, that's actually good. You're here to learn. You're like, people just be making shit up. You're here to learn what? Is it people start making shit up when they do not have the answers? Have you realized that? People start making things up when they realize that they do not have the answers. Doctor Who in that situation could have told himself that he was there to learn, and he could have believed that. Like, yeah, I'm actually here to learn, this is a good experience. Maybe I'm here to learn to be an honest person, because whenever he made a confession, he was able to stop that thing for a while. He had to make a confession to stop that thing for a while. So be like, I'm here to learn how to be an honest person. Nope. I'm actually here to evolve, I'm actually here to, like, how do you evolve in that kind of place? I grew up in a village. Our schools were shit. Like, there were no good school. We didn't have desks, we didn't have boards, we didn't have, sometimes we didn't have enough boards, chairs, and all that. Sometimes you find that, maybe there are chairs in the classroom, but not enough. We didn't have what we needed to be able to learn. Sometimes we didn't have enough textbooks. Our teachers weren't the best teachers in the world. And we found ourselves suffering. You know, sometimes you don't have food, you don't have money. Our province is always the worst performing province, like when it comes to education. Why? Because the children are suffering, right? So they're suffering at school. They do not have enough chairs. They do not have good teachers, you know, because they're being taught by the people who went through what they went through, and which limited them somehow. You see? I mean, imagine being in a classroom, not having a place to sit, you're just standing, but you're learning. Gauteng, I think, is usually the best performing, like, I think it's the best performing province in South Africa. But they have they have everything, you know, they have everything. That's why they are performing very well. So that shows you that you don't learn by being put in a very fucked up situation. You actually learn when you are in a good situation. That's how you learn. So we can't say we are learning something here by being tortured. You see, you learn best when you are in a good situation, when you're in a good environment to learn. You see, if you are here to learn how to love, you don't learn how to love when you are trying to survive. That's not how you learn how to love, right? You're on survival mode. You're trying to survive, so you look for people who will help you survive. Like men now are looking for women who work. You know, they don't just want any woman. Like, things are changing, right? They're like, hey man, things are changing. Things are becoming more and more expensive now. I just can't have this woman at home who just doesn't bring in anything. You know, women have always, you know, liked men who are making money. So how do we learn how to love one another if we love people because of what they bring into our lives, what they bring to the table? Like, yeah, that man has a nice job, so yeah, I'm choosing that man. We don't learn how to love that way. It will be impossible. We would learn how to love if we were put in a situation where loving someone actually bring positive results in your life. Like loving that person, like actually loving that person, not because they have something that you want. You just love that person. That brings positive things into your life. That will be how you learn how to love. So Limpopo is always the worst performing province in South Africa when it comes to education, because they don't have, like, everything is poor quality. Everything, even the windows, you know, the facilities, everything poor quality. Life itself is messed up, you know. That is why people ain't even learning anything. If you think we're here to learn, go and have a conversation with a person who is in their who's old, right? Have a conversation with a person who's old. Ask them what they have learned, and you realize that they haven't learned anything. You might say, well, you know, people who are old are tired, so they might not even be able to remember what they've learned. So find a person who's like 60, you know. Try to have a conversation with that person. Ask them what they have learned, and you'll be surprised. Like, they haven't learned anything. So we're not here to learn. It seems like we are in a place that we need to find a way to, you know, free ourselves from it. Not a place where we are learning and growing. becoming more conscious. The older we grow, the older we get, the more we kind of feel like there is something, like we're losing our souls. Don't you feel like that? Like, I don't feel the way that I used to feel when I was 20. Like, there was something that used to be inside that isn't there anymore. Right? There was something, I'm telling you. When I was 20, there was something. But that it's not there anymore. I don't feel it anymore. It's like I'm losing something. Right? As I get older, I lose something. And I lose this thing when I experience like bad things in life. Right? When I experience bad things in life, it's like there is this spark that we're all born with, but the more we experience nonsense, the more we lose it. And it gets to a point where you don't have it at all. Like, it gets to a point where you just don't have it at all. Consciousness is really going through a lot in this realm. We might try our best to look at this as a positive experience, but it doesn't mean that it is. It just means that, yeah, maybe looking at this as a positive experience can help us find ways to protect ourselves better from the things that we are trying to run away from the monsters that we're trying to run away from. Like, it's much harder. It will be much harder to protect ourselves if we just were like, okay, this is a hell realm. That's it. Because maybe we wouldn't do anything. Maybe we'll just be trying to figure out how to get out, which is not a bad thing to do, actually, because you don't want to be stuck here forever. You need to figure out what's the way out. You don't want to keep on reincarnating back here and having the same experiences over and over again, right? So it's up to you. It's like, do you choose to try to learn as much as you can to be able to free yourself, or do you just choose to zoom in and just focus on, achieving your goals? Like, that's it. That's your only focus. Keeping yourself distracted, that's your only focus. Because if you were in an island that I was telling you about, if you didn't ask questions, if you didn't ask yourself, why am I being chased by these things? Why do these things actually want to harm me? You would never really want to escape, right? You would never try to figure out how to escape. You'll just be running away from these things, finding food, eating, finding shelter, swimming sometimes, but that's it. And if you were put in that place every time, let's say after dying you were put there, it means that that will go on forever. You will never be able to escape. Because you are not asking the right questions. You're not asking why you have to go through what you go through. People are realizing that they are in a hell realm because they are becoming conscious. They are starting to ask the right questions. So they're like, no, this can't be right. What I'm going through can't be right. Something is wrong. Something is off. There is something that is not right about this place. And we're trying our best to make it seem as if what we're going through is okay. Right? When you're young, they tell you that, the experience that you are having is good, and you grow up believing that the experience that you are having is good. And maybe when you're young it's good, but as you get older you start to realize that no, man, there's a lot going on. I thought I was seeing an elephant. I remember these other guys yesterday were saying that some elephants escaped. That's scary, but I don't think elephants will just try to attack you like that. Like if they see you, they'll just try to attack you. They don't really care. I think it's rare to be attacked by an elephant. You know, it's only when like they're angry that they will want to attack you. But I think I can outrun an elephant. I'm just kidding. I think, but I'm fast though. Like I can run. Very athletic. We need to be honest, man, about this place. I'm being as honest as I can be with myself, you know, about what I'm going through in my own life, my own journey. You know, ask myself, why do I keep on going through some things? You know, some things that you've had to deal with when you're young, you continue to deal with these things. How do I make sure that I don't deal with these things forever? Keep on asking myself the right questions. Keep on trying to evolve. Because I can see that we weren't put here to evolve, so I have to make myself evolve. You can be put in a place where you are actually supposed to devolve and actually evolve. That is possible. But you must realize what is being done to you first so that you will know what to do. You will do the opposite of what is being done to you. If that brainwash you, you do the opposite of that. Teaching you nonsense, you do the opposite of that. If they're programming you, you do the opposite of that, is it? What happens is that you become more and more conscious. You start to realize things that you weren't supposed to realize. You start to understand things that you weren't supposed to understand. You start to see things as they really are. But it's not easy to become conscious enough in this room to actually see things as they really are. It seems like us not seeing things as they really are is what's actually making it hard for us to escape. So there is a force that ensures that we don't see things as they really are. Or if we start to see things as they really are, this force is gonna watch us very closely. Like, hey, there's this guy in South Africa, man. Yeah, he's becoming super conscious. So you gotta watch him because, hey, he might figure some shit out. And if he does, it's over for us. So let's try our best to distract him. Let's give him this kind of problem so that he will be distracted. You know, he'll be trying to solve these problems instead of trying to evolve and figure out what is actually going on. Let's keep on torturing him. Let's keep on killing his soul so that he doesn't have, you know, the kind of energy that he needs to evolve, you know. and figure out what is actually going on. There needs to be honesty, man. You need to be honest with yourself about what you are experiencing and keep on trying to evolve. You need to be honest with yourself about what you're experiencing and keep on trying to evolve. It's not easy. It wasn't supposed to be easy. Like you actually trying to become more conscious than you are is doing the opposite of what you were programmed to do. So of course things are going to be harder for you. The more you realize what's going on, things are going to be harder for you, because you're going to feel like you're in a hellville, right? It's like if you were born in a prison and you weren't told that you were born in a prison, and no one was telling you that you were born in a prison. At first you'll be happy, right? Even if you're being mistreated, because that will be life to you. Like, you've never experienced freedom, so you might feel like that is life. Like, it sucks, but this is how it is. This is life. They tell us when to eat, they tell us when to sleep, they keep us here. Like, we're not supposed to go outside, but that's life. It's how it is. I shouldn't be complaining. I should just try to do what they're saying I must do. But if you keep on asking yourself the right questions and actually realize that, no, man, we're actually in prison here, you're going to start to feel bad. You're not going to feel the way that you want to feel, because you're realizing that the place that you are in is not what you thought it was or what you were told it was. So people don't feel good when they start to realize what is actually going on, because what's going on is not good. It's like I keep on telling you that we're not in a world that is good, but that seems bad, right? Like, you can be in a situation that is good, but that seems bad. That's possible. You find that there's something that is happening, but it's happening for your own good, but you don't know that. You will only know after that, okay, what was happening was actually happening for my own good. But what I'm saying is that we're not in a place like that, where things are happening for our own good. See, we're in a place that seems good, but where bad things are happening, right? Like, what is happening seems good, but then it's happening for bad reasons. So we're having a negative experience. Like, things are presented as if they're good, even though they're not. Like, this is a place where people wear masks, right? This is a place where people lie. They don't tell you how they really feel. They just try to seem like as good as possible. So life is doing that too. It's trying to make us think that it is beautiful, but what is happening that we're not paying attention to is actually not beautiful. It's just like the Christian God. He wants people to think that he's good while he's actually evil. So he will present himself as if it's good. Christianity is presented as if it's good. Like, when you listen to preachers preaching, it will sound like they're good. They will sound like they are holy and they are really giving you the right kind of message. You're like, damn, I must become a Christian because I want to be a good person. I want to do the right things. I want to help my neighbor. I want to love my neighbor. And you read the Bible and you're like, what the fuck? So that's how life is. When you look at, how it's being presented to us. Like if before you come here, you actually were put in a situation where they tell you what actually goes on earth, they will kind of like advertise it in a way that will make it seem like a very great experience to have, right? Like life on earth, like that would be a great experience to have. But like, yo man, on earth, when you're young, you have parents, right? These parents are going to take care of you until you get older. You're going to go to school, right? When you go to school, there are going to be people who are older than you who are going to be teaching you things that you'll actually need to know to be able to, play the game, right? So you'll be taught what you need to know to be able to play the game. And you'll be with other kids that will also be taught how to play the game. And as you get older, as you advance, things can become a bit more challenging, but that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. When you're done with school, you will find a job, and then you will start to make money, and you'll buy a house, and then you'll get married. That's how they will present the whole thing, and people will be like, yo, that's dope. I want to go and have that experience. But when you're having the experience itself, you're like, what the fuck? Realize that everything is upside down. Things ain't what I thought they were. I've been told a lot of lies. It takes very high level of consciousness to see what is actually going on. If you are able to see what's going on, try to be as strong as possible and continue to learn. Never stop learning. Like, that's important. Never stop learning. Don't ever decide that, okay, I'm gonna stop learning because things are becoming more and more difficult for me. I'm gonna stop learning. I'm just gonna do what everyone else is doing. What's gonna happen is that you're gonna be so damn distracted that you don't evolve and be ready to actually free yourself. So, do what you can to survive, but also be doing enough work to become more and more conscious. If I died like 10 years ago, I wouldn't be this conscious. And if I died today, it means that 5 years, it means that I would not become more and more conscious, right? Because 5 years from now, obviously I'll be super conscious, right, compared to how I am now. So try to learn as much as possible while you are here so that you will be ready for whatever is next. You mustn't be easy to manipulate. You see, if I died 10 years ago, I'm telling you, I will be very easy to manipulate. I'll be very easy to manipulate. But I'm learning, I'm learning a lot. I'm realizing that we are being manipulated in so many different ways in this room. So obviously, even after we've left this room, we will still have to deal with what we're dealing with here. But the more conscious I become, the more I realize that it's really up to me. Am I going to, fall for the tricks anymore? Or will I use my level of understanding to kind of like to counter, to protect myself. It really does take time to evolve and start to see things as they are. And it takes a lot. Like, people suffer a lot to reach high levels of consciousness. Like, it's not easy to reach high levels of consciousness if you're not suffering. I'm not saying suffering is good, but because we are in a messed up realm, people reach high levels of consciousness by suffering. And people reaching high levels of consciousness doesn't mean that we were put here to reach high levels of consciousness, right? Because most people don't reach high levels of consciousness. If this was a school where people get to reach high levels of consciousness, it wouldn't be like 1% of us that actually get to reach high levels of consciousness. Like less than 1% actually. It's like there are very few people on earth that are actually conscious, bro. Very, very few people. That is why it's hard to meet people who think like you, who see things the way that you see things, who understand what you understand. So this is not about people agreeing. This is about understanding. Like, do they understand when you try to explain some things to them? Or they just don't. It's hard to meet people who actually understand what we understand. So that means that us becoming conscious is just us rebelling. We've just find a way to become conscious, and we weren't supposed to become conscious. We're supposed to think like everyone else and keep on playing the game the way that everyone else is playing the game. You see? And that can be a good thing. Thank you all, guys.